Meets History podcast, Dr. Tessa Dunlop, says he is still valuable. Well, not to Sentebale, Dr. Dunlop.
It's extraordinary, isn't it, that the one person who's finally managed to knock Donald Trump off the news is Prince Harry. Keep your main player on the pitch. We know celebrities are problematic. I dread to think what Ed Balls is like in the green room, but you keep your player on the pitch, and the chairperson of Sentebale has failed to do that.
OK, well, I'd just like to point out Ed Balls is lovely in the green room. But Jack Royston, chief royal correspondent for Newsweek, these are explosive allegations. To accuse Prince Harry, who himself has made allegations in an entire book about the way he was treated, about how his wife was treated, for him then to be accused of bullying and harassment.
This looks like the toxicity is following Harry everywhere he goes. So there was the falling out with William and Kate and the staff at Kensington Palace. They were called grifters at Spotify. Then he's got this at Sentebale. His other African charity, African Parks, is facing very serious allegations about the conduct of its rangers. And then also, you know, the Netflix shows that they've been producing are getting absolutely pulverised by progressive magazines in America. You know, Time, Vanity Fair, Variety, New York Magazine. These are all magazines.
Can I just say, I'm not sure that the media and journalists criticising them is the same thing.
No, it's not.
As
it's different.
The chair of one of his charities criticising. That feels much closer to the bone, doesn't it?
And it is, but the problem is here, the only way that they're coming back to Sophie Chandauka is by attacking her. And that's not going to do anything to boost his reputation. It's mutually assured destruction.
Tessa, I mean, could you have a second go? Because I'm not sure I understood your defence of Prince Harry in the opening. He's knocked Donald Trump off the news, or we have.
No, but I think the point is he's a ginormous brand. He's a juggernaut of a brand. And actually, Sophie Chandauka talked about taking over as the chairperson, going back through the books and finding that the Sussex brand and its toxicity, i.e. when they left Britain, saw a slump in donors. At the same time, we have to recognise that courtesy of Harry's polo matches, etc., in fact, through the polo matches alone, he brings in £12 million. Spare donates £1 million to Sentebale from its profits. So Harry is incredibly profitable, and actually harnessed in the right way, we believe in Harry as a philanthropist. Sure, he's got issues where he wants his life of service.
So even if he's toxic, it's still worth it?
But I don't think he is any more or less toxic than the chairperson with whom he's having a clash. What's interesting here is that it's blown out into the open because he's rescinded the patronage along with the Prince of Lesotho, along with the Board of Trustees. Who's on her own here? Actually, it's the chairperson and her colleague, or one time erstwhile colleague, Trevor Phillips, I thought looked distinctly uncomfortable in that interview yesterday. What she's done, given that she's launched complaints with the High Court and the Charity Commission, it's extraordinarily unprofessional, isn't it, to go and weaponise Harry's words against himself, you know, to take it publicly into the press. I was astonished she did this.
Just as toxic as your chair is not going to be good enough for other organisations that might want to work with Harry, because what they're aiming for is not toxic at all. No. And that's the problem that Harry's got, is nobody wants to work with a toxic person.
Sorry, Invictus, one of the great success stories of our time, now into its 11th year. I don't think we can say everything Harry touches turns to dust when you've got Invictus there.
Invictus is great, but if they're going... And they could lose the Netflix deal at any time. You know, they could lose...
No.
At any
Meghan's
time, and they
just
will
been recommissioned. It was in the global top 10. I mean, I couldn't bear it. With Love Meghan, I couldn't work out what it was about. It's all about Californian perfection. But viewers sat down, hate it or love it. They watched it, Jack. You may not like that fact, but
they're going to need to be earning money for years to come.
And you're not, and I'm not?
But I'm not in the middle of a massive global PR crisis. I'm not disintegrating publicly for the benefit of viewers around the world. I mean, in America, people are absolutely loving watching them crash and burn.
Loving, hating them, clickety-click makes money.
But Jack Royston, a man whose career thrives on the obsession over Prince Harry and Meghan, has met his match. This sentence alone captures the essence of Jack Royston, a figure who has spent his professional life fixated on the lives of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. This fixation, however, is not born out of admiration or even a professional interest in their lives. No, Jack Royston's interest lies in the murky waters of character assassination and narrative manipulation. Relentless in his attacks, Royston has made a habit of twisting facts and painting Harry and Meghan in a negative light, all for his own gain. He conveniently overlooks the reality that Prince Harry has confronted the media giants in a court of law and emerged victorious, a testament to the Duke's resilience in the face of such tireless scrutiny. Royston's tactics are not only underhanded, they are laughably desperate. He recycles the same tired stories, the same negative narratives, in a bid to keep his name in the limelight. Yet the irony of his actions is almost too palpable to ignore. Here is a man who has built his entire career on attacking two individuals, only to have his own character called into question. And who has dared to do this? None other than Dr. Tessa Dunlop. She has exposed Royston's blatant bias and his constant attempts to twist the narrative for his own profit. His unhealthy obsession with Harry and Meghan has been laid bare for all to see, and his bitterness is now on full display. In the end, it is this bitterness that fuels Jack Royston. His endless cycle of hate pays his bills. His platform is constructed on spite. Yet, thanks to the unyielding efforts of Tessa Dunlop, the world is beginning to see through his facade. His tactics have been exposed, his credibility questioned. Jack Royston's platform is built on bitterness, and his endless cycle of hate pays his bills. And with that, the bitter reality of Jack Royston is unveiled. Enter Dr. Tessa Dunlop, a beacon of truth in an ocean of media bias. A formidable figure, Tessa Dunlop has established herself as a force to be reckoned with. With a doctorate in history, she's a formidable scholar, a brilliant presenter, and a fearless defender of truth. Her achievements span across multiple fields, yet what is most striking about her is her fearless disposition. When confronted with Jack Royston's bitter narratives, Dr. Dunlop didn't back down. Instead, she armed herself with facts and logic, cutting through the noise with the precision of a surgeon. She took Royston's claims, dissected them, and laid them bare for the world to see. It was a sight to behold, a masterclass in dismantling bias and prejudice. But Tessa Dunlop's brilliance doesn't stop there. She went beyond merely debunking Royston's claims. She defended Harry and Meghan with a fervour that is as commendable as it is rare. She stood up for them, not out of blind loyalty, but because she saw through Royston's tactics. She recognised the endless cycle of hate for what it was, a desperate attempt to stay relevant at the cost of others' dignity. And it is here that Dr. Dunlop truly shone. She exposed Royston's tactics for what they truly were: desperate, unhinged, and rooted in jealousy. She showed the world that Royston's obsession with Harry and Meghan was not about journalism. It was about profiteering. She laid bare his blatant bias, his twisted narratives, his relentless attempts to manipulate public opinion for personal gain. In the end, Tessa Dunlop didn't just defend Harry and Meghan. She defended truth and fairness. She stood against the tide of media bias and proved that facts and logic can prevail against even the most relentless of attacks. Tessa Dunlop's takedown is a win for truth, exposing Jack Royston's desperate and unhinged tactics. With her brilliant defense and fearless takedown, she has shown the world that truth can and will prevail. The aftermath of Tessa Dunlop's takedown has left Jack Royston in a position from which there is no coming back. In the wake of this public undressing, Jack Royston's reputation is on the line. The world is now seeing through his facade, his bitterness laid bare for all to witness. Tessa Dunlop's incisive words have peeled back the layers of Jack's obsessive narrative, revealing the hollow centre of his relentless campaign against Prince Harry and Meghan. The impact of this takedown cannot be overstated. Tessa's fearless defence of truth has thrown a spotlight on Jack's tactics, and the world is taking notice. His relentless cycle of negativity, once unchecked, is now being questioned, and the cracks in his credibility are beginning to show. This is a turning point. The world is watching, waiting to see how Jack Royston will respond to this public shaming. Will he continue his relentless pursuit of negativity, or will he finally see the error of his ways? Thanks to Tessa Dunlop, Jack Royston has been called out, and the world is watching.